Oh, hi guys. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Welcome to first episode of what I want to turn into a longer series where I focus on dark, disturbing, or controversial pieces of lost media. Um, and today we will be focusing on um, one of the most notorious cases of NSFL dark lost media, which is footage of the fall that took wrestler Owen Hart's life at WWF's 1999 Over the Edge match in Kansas City, Missouri. WWF was later rebranded into the WWE, as many of you probably know. Many of you may be familiar with the overall circumstances behind Hart's death, but if you aren't, it was caused by a fall, accidental fall from the rafters while performing a stunt as Hart's alter ego Blue Blazer that was meant to lower him into the ring via harness. Now, the harness broke, basically snapped, and Hart fell into the ring's turnbuckle. Hart didn't die instantly. He died while en route to a local hospital, and he was only 34 years old. Um, and if you know anything about WWE or WWF, you probably know his family's history. He's the younger brother of legend Bret Hart. Um, is the footage even lost? Well, apparently, it exists in the form of official WWF cameras, but it is unclear whether or not it still exists in the same capacity to this day. Now, it is alleged that the tape itself is stored in a video vault at the WWE headquarters, um, under the instructions never to release, view, or duplicate, or never to release, duplicate, or view, whatever the order is. Um, and it is stored alongside footage of another infamous wrestling incident that didn't directly claim Draws' life, but he possibly died from complications 25 years after the fact. The tape has supposedly has direct orders from higher ups at WWE to remain untouched by anyone under any circumstances, hence the label never to release, view, or duplicate. So yeah, Hart's match, the Over the Edge match, was broadcast live on pay per view. If you remember pay per view, which many WWF matches from the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s were broadcast over pay per view. But the fall itself happened while the broadcast was focused on a pre taped interview with Owen Hart. So if you're tuning in and watching the event on pay per view, you did not see the fall happen. People do claim to have witnessed the fall unfold. A few people online have claimed to seen the fall happen live. Of course, the internet. You, you, you know how the internet is. People make stuff up, as they go. But apparently that's just a false memory, a Mandela effect, if you will. I mean, I, I'm not gonna call you a liar if you claim to have seen it, but I mean, I am gonna call you a liar. I mean, it's it's that's not what happened. All right, so let's put that to rest. Another claim that is often made is that fan camera footage of Hart's fall. This is a little bit more believable, but not by much. Fan camera footage of Hart's fall was leaked online shortly after the incident and made the rounds on torrenting and file sharing sites like LimeWire, Kazaa. If you remember those, I remember using Emule back in the mid 2000s as a little child. So that's basically people claim to have seen fan camera footage, and it was rumored to be grainy, brief, and taken from a great distance, so you couldn't really make out much of what was happening. It was no more than 10 seconds, no more than 8 seconds apparently. Those claims, look, I cannot refute them, I cannot debunk them. However, I do have my doubts about them because handheld cameras or camcorders were insanely difficult to sneak into those events. They were basically banned and they were often confiscated when spotted. Not always, though. So, I cannot definitively say that there was no fan cam footage of the match. But I do have, serious doubts about it. But I cannot call you a liar here. Several years after the incident, a video was released of a separate match, and was claimed to be Hart. Now, this happened in 2003. The match that people mistook for Hart was between New Jack and Vic Grimes. Vic was injured, but he survived those injuries. And the incident, the circumstances were vaguely similar to the over the edge incident that took Hart's life, so it was easy to mistake the two. But if you've seen that video, it's not Hart. Because Vic Grimes survived, Hart did not, and this video was a lot more clear than the rumored video that was spreading around online of Hart's death. The closest that you can get today to seeing Hart's death, to seeing the footage of Hart's fall, would be some blurry, not blurry, but photos, crime scene photos or press photos of Hart lying unconscious, not dead, but unconscious on the ring with paramedics surrounding him. And they're not, terribly gory or explicit, but, if you're a fan of Hart, it's kind of, disheartening and kind of, I wouldn't recommend looking them up unless you have great interest in, seeking the footage out. And it's probably as close as you'll get to seeing the footage, along with Spanish radio commentary of Hart's death, and audio, not video, in which at some point you can, if you listen close enough, you can hear a thud, a very distant thud, and the commentators reacting in disbelief and horror. But you cannot see it, obviously, it's just radio commentary, but that's probably the closest that you'll get, or that anyone will get to seeing the footage, unless it's leaked, if it even does exist, which I doubt, but it's very possible. It's a possibility that it might get out somehow, but I kind of doubt it ever will. And there are also photos from a higher distance that show Hart lying unconscious, but you cannot really make it out. Those are supposedly press photos. And that was it for this deep dive. If you want more, I know it came out kind of awkward. If you want more Lost Media deep dives, subscribe or follow me, because this isn't TikTok, not YouTube. Follow me, and I might get around to making an actual series. And maybe next time I wouldn't be as nervous. That was it, guys.